Lesson 3 starts on page 22. And so we are going to learn the letter C. Okay? Wow. So we've learned the A, we've learned the B, and now we're going to learn the letter C. Okay? Now, remember what I told y'all. When you learn a letter, they always have a warm-up and review. So we're going to kind of go quickly through the warm-up and review. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm just going to say it. Just follow along. I'm probably not even going to stop. So I'm just going to go through it, okay, on the warm-up and review, because I do want us to learn the letter C. It might go kind of fast, but remember, you're going to take what I have and you're going to practice, okay? So here we go. We're going to start with the review of writing the A and the A. When I say A, that's just the thumb on your A. Here we go. Ready? A, A, A. Home position. A, A, A. Home position. If you forget where it's at, look at your keyboard. A, A, A. Home position. 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 5. Remember, the 5 is the third middle finger. 5, 5, 5. Home position. 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 5. A, 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 5. Home position. Initial B. B, left hand. B, home position. B, 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 home position. Right hand, B. B, 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 home position. Left hand, B. B, 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 home position. Right hand, B. Right, B, 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 home position. Left hand, B. B, 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 home position. Right hand, B, 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 home position. Left hand, B, 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 home position. Right hand, B, 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 home position. 55, 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 home position. A, 55, A, 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 home position. How'd y'all do? Everybody do okay? I went really fast. Yeah, and that's really, really fast for a class where you're just learning. But I want you to take that, I want you to take it home, and I want you to just practice. And do it 10 times perfectly. If you don't get it 10 times perfectly, you do it over. That's where the 2 hours comes from. I mean, you might do A for 2 hours. I hope not. But you might. You might do it. So, you know, just practice, okay? Does anybody have any questions? Because we're going to learn a new letter. Oh, why don't you do take some pictures? Oh, yeah, just because you have a full class. Okay. You need, remember, just raise your hand if you ever have a question. No question is a stupid question. Just raise your hand, okay? Yes?
Did you ever practice TV shows?
I did.
Yes.
You bet. Yeah. When you start, you remember I told you learn everything that first year in theory? The rest is speed? Well, I tried to never watch TV. Remember I told you I watched a lot of soaps? Well, when I was younger, like y'all, I watched a lot of soaps on TV, okay? And so I would write them. I would write, you know, I might get a little bit of this, but I was always writing. I would write the news. I would write anytime the president spoke, okay? If y'all ever hear the president speak, when you're in school, now you're just learning ABCs here, okay? But when you're in theory school, for those of you that do decide to move on, and the president speaks, you get your machine out and you write it. That is called, like I was telling you, the congressional record. Okay, that is what you want to write, okay? Believe it or not, a lot of your testing in court reporting school are going to be things like that. Those kind of congressional speeches. Okay, president speaks, write it down. Great practice. All that is written down by court reporters, by the way. Okay, I have some court reporter friends that actually got to fly in Air Force One and accompany the president. Why were court reporters doing this? The court reporters were doing it so that all his speeches were taken down. Top secret job. Court reporters did that. Okay? That's what they did. They traveled with the President of the United States. You can be that person someday. Imagine that. You're not even in a courtroom. You're on Air Force One. Okay? So there's a lot of possibilities.
I have a question. Well, of course, in the courtrooms, you guys are taking notes. There's immigration courts that they have a DAR system, which is a recording system.
Yes.
Why one versus the other, or?
Because the court reporter is a better method and will always be the better method. A court reporter can stop the proceedings. A court reporter can focus on someone talking. Like, say you're talking, you're over here talking. Or you're over here doing what some attorneys do so you don't hear them on a microphone going like this. Okay? So they block out the speaker, the microphone, or they'll talk real close to block out the other attorney.
Or they're shuffling their papers over the
They're,
microphone.
you cannot imagine what happens in a courtroom, but I will tell you, things happen. Okay? So that the court reporter doesn't get the record. Well, guess what? We're not DARs. We're not recorders. We're court reporters. We can watch you, and there might be other stuff happening, but we can focus on you. We will watch your mouth. We will get what you say.
Yep.
That is the reason.
Even if you're whispering,
But
we get you.
the legal reason is because the immigration court is not, it's an agency court, isn't it?
Oh.
It's not a court of record.
I didn't know that.
So the only method of appeal is to appeal to a court of record.
Oh.
And that's where the court reporter will be there making a record, right?
Yes, and Ms. Jones, that's a great point. One of the things I didn't tell y'all, well, why do we have court reporters? So that's a great point. Okay, we have court reporters in a courtroom because we're courts of record. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means exactly what she just said. There are courtrooms that they don't have a record because if they even appeal what happened there, like say you're in JP court, you're in JP court for some little thing, and they throw you in JP court, well, guess what? That's not a court of record. What that means is there's no court reporter there. There's no record there, okay? So when they appeal it in JP court, that comes to county court. Say you don't like what the judge, justice of peace, how you ruled on your case, you're going to appeal that. There's no court record. You come to county court. That is our bottom level in the state of Texas, okay? Now what happens is I'm in a district court, which is a higher level court. What happens in my court is if you don't like what the judge did and you think the judge made a mistake, or you want your case retried, you appeal it to what they call an appellate court. They need my record. Okay? They look at my record, they slice it, and you paralegals and legal assistants, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You take excerpts of it and you do all that with the record, the court reporter's record. And that's what goes up on appeal so that the higher court can review the lower court and say, yeah, they didn't let this in, or they said this, that shouldn't have been on the record, look what happened. That's your purpose in the courtroom. Okay, you don't make, I always tell attorneys, I don't make the record, you make a sorry record, You're just all over the place. I only take down what I hear, and if they don't know how to make a sentence, they don't know how to make a sentence. But your good lawyers, they make real full sentences and use real English. Okay, because they'll make up words. You write what you hear. They just make up words. They take a word and they add an ing to it. Like, really?
Or ish.
Yeah, they just make up words. Are there any questions? Okay, good question. Okay, here we go. We're going to learn the letter C. Now, y'all know the letter C, okay? The letter C can sound like an S sound, or it can sound like a hard K sound, like cat, okay? Like scent. See how it sounds like an S? Okay? Scent sounds like an S. In court reporting, you write what you hear, not the way it's spelled in English. Okay?
With rare exceptions.
With rare exceptions. Good. The final C is the same way, like the letter K, like arc, chick. See how it has that K sound? Okay? So you're going to learn how to write these kind of letters. Okay, now, extend the index finger letter from home position to write the asterisk or a star. Did we just skip C?
That's all that's in our notes as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I guess they did. Okay. Well, we're going to go on because we're supposed to follow this book, so we're going to continue. Now, this little star in the middle of your keyboard looks kind of funky, and you'll see it right in the middle. Both of your index fingers can hit it. Okay? In core reporting school, you're going to learn that. Okay? That little asterisk is used to, in core reporting school, when things are happening, we have to correct, right? Like a backspace on a computer. Our correction is this little thing. When we make a mistake, we hit it. If we hit it, it's going to delete what we just wrote, the last stroke. If we hit it twice, it's going to delete the last 2 strokes. Okay? So it's like a delete key for us, but it serves many other purposes. That's just one.
I use it all the time because my favorite use of it is it distinguishes between words that sound or look alike on your steno outlines. So
Yes, very much so. Okay? When computer theory came, remember we started without computers when I went to school. When computers came, we had to distinguish how the computer was going to read your notes. Because, you know, some words sound the same and reporters used to write them the same, just how they sounded. But when computers came about, we had to learn what they call computer-aided transcription. Okay? We had to learn how to write for computers. And how we did that was we used that little asterisk key. When you use it, it can make one word look, without it, it will be this word. With it, it'll be another word. For example, remember I told y'all about bat, B-A-T? Well, I learned if you put that asterisk in it, it now becomes bath, B-A-T-H, just because I hit that at the same time. That is just one example of what you can do with that little asterisk. But it is, if you write 2 things the same way, it's going to make one different. So no longer will you write 2 things the same way. You will never, the whole goal in theory, you don't write any word the same. Every word's going to be written different.
like hair, air, and air, you know.
Yeah, like synonyms, homonyms.
Yeah.
Homonyms, okay? I gotta go back to my grammar. Oh, and by the way, one of the classes you will take when you're in corporate school is grammar, English grammar. Why? Well, because court reporters have a kind of a different language. We start sentences with the word and, A-N-D.
And but.
And but. And so many attorneys start with so. I mean, some attorneys will just say the. They don't even know what they're going to say, but they're going to say the word the. And then just pause. That's just what they do. So court reporters have a different kind of grammar. So if you enroll in court reporting, you're going to have, besides the little machine, you're going to have to take a few other courses. One of them is grammar for court reporters specifically. One of them is going to be medical terminology. So you that was doing in the medical field, your dental hygienist, you know, that's going to be a breeze for y'all. So you're going to have to learn medical terms. Why? Well, you're going to be taking all these doctors. You're going to learn about cancer. You're going to learn about everything. You're going to learn about fractures. You're going to just learn about everything. You learn about everything. You know, diseases and drugs and all that kind of stuff. That we used to have books like this when I was in school. Well, now you have the computer, you have Google.
Google. Yeah.
So you have Google now. You can just Google it. You don't have to have all this stuff. So, and another thing you're going to take, for those of you that are in the DA's office, CPS course, you're going to have legal assistants, paralegals, you're going to have to take legal terminology. Why? Well, you're going to be in the legal field, okay? And so you're going to be taking depositions. You're going to be with attorneys. You know how nurses work with doctors. Court reporters work with attorneys and judges. And so that's what you're going to be doing. And so you've got to know the legal terminology of what they're using in the courtroom. So those are extra classes you must take to be a court reporter. Okay. Are there any questions on that? Those are just 3 that I know we had to take. I don't even think, when I was in school, we had to take typing, but they don't even think they have typewriters anymore. So that's probably out the door.
They do you have to have a typing certification of being able to write. I believe it's 60 words per minute or better. which isn't bad.
Yeah, I don't even know how they teach typing anymore, but be that as it may. Okay, so that's what the little asterisk is for. Like I told you, use your index finger, okay? It can go from both sides. Some court reporters have what they call a wide asterisk key, and it's going to be a fat key. Some of your older machines might have it. I have it on mine because I use this key a lot. And the reason I put it on mine, I had what they call a double asterisk, which means it was a fat key on each end, because I used it so much, I didn't want my finger to go through the crack. I wanted to use it on purpose. Okay, I wanted to make sure I hit that key on purpose to make a different word. Okay, so when you hit that, now I want y'all to just hit it with your index finger, just kind of play with it. Just hit it a lot of times, okay?
Preferably
hit it with both
your
index fingers.
Right, preferably, because this is what you're going to be using most often in your theory, etc.
So, so do it with your right. Start with your right index finger. Just hit it a lot of times, and it'll come out. And so it's going to tell you, to ignore the stroke. Oh, Jessica? Oh. Okay. I'm not real good with this. Okay. So, does anybody have questions about this? Okay, the theory rule. There's always theory rules, and you're going to learn this in theory class. Now, this is not theory class. This is just the alphabet. But once you hit theory, you're going to start learning some rules. And this is one of them. If you misstroke an outline, you depress that immediately to delete it. So it's like your backspace on a computer, because that's the theory rule. Okay, let's practice the following with each index finger. Okay, let's try the right. Jessica said let's do the right. And so when I say asterisk, 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 we're going to start with our right. Okay? And then when I say asterisk, 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 we're going to do our left. Okay? How's that? Okay.
The only time that you end up using the asterisk with your left hand is when you're trying to make the S a Z.
Oh, see.
So that's why I say use your right hand more predominantly, because this will be your backspace. And it will also be to differentiate a lot of letters on the right side. So you'll be using your right hand most predominantly.
So maybe we should just use it on the right hand.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
just do the right.
And feel free to practice with the left on your free time.
Yes, okay, so that's great. So let's just use the right hand, because the theory you're going to learn here is going to do, she just came from theory in school here, so she knows exactly what she's talking about using the right. I learned a whole different theory, so we did a little things different, so this is wonderful. This is why you're an asset. Okay, here we go. Right hand, asterisk, ready? Okay, I'm going to say asterisk. Boy, you should be able to write it as long, that's a 3-syllable word, okay? So y'all should be able to write it quicker than I can say it. Here we go. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Home position. 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 Home, asterisk. Asterisk. Home position. Asterisk. Asterisk. Home position. Asterisk. Asterisk. Home position. Asterisk. Asterisk. Home position. Okay, B with your left hand. Remember, it's PW. B, asterisk. B, asterisk. Home position. 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 Right hand B. B, asterisk. B, asterisk. Home position. 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 Okay? Now write this word. Bay. All at the same time, B-A-I. Bay. 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 Now write babe with the B. Babe. 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 Okay, how'd y'all do? Okay. Now we're gonna learn, now let me tell you something else, okay? When you're in court reporting school, unlike most of your classes, if you're in finance or you're going to get in a banking degree or whatever, most of your classes you can skip school and think, I'll just read that on my own. You know, I'll borrow somebody else's notes, okay? I went to college, I did that, okay? All right, in court reporting school, you cannot do that, okay? You can't skip like that. If you do, well, just add another year to your court reporting degree, okay? If you decide you're going to do that, because that's what you're going to do. So, if you don't want to add another year to your court reporting career, don't do that, okay? Especially when you're in theory class, because how I'm moving, you know how I'm moving, ABCD? Guess what school's going to be like? They don't go back. You know, you missed it. Well, guess what? You missed it. The good thing is they have it online. But you're going to have to make yourself go online and do everything that you didn't do if you had gone to school that day. And then everything that's coming up that they're going to cover the next day. And it's going to move very fast because they have to teach you so much information in one semester. Okay, so I'm moving a little bit fast, but I want to tell you this is the way court reporting school is. Your first year, your first semester. So guess what happens? Well, people kind of find out that is not for me. I can't do that. There's no way I can do that. You know, I just already missed 6 classes. Okay? They just got really behind. So easy in court reporting school to get behind. So easy. So if you don't keep up with me, you're going to get behind. And if you get behind, you're going to miss the, because we just add. You just start adding words and letters, and that's the way theory is. That's what you're going to do. You start adding to it. So whatever happens, if you do miss and you miss one of these classes, you know, you're not getting a grade. But go back and review what we went over because you're going to get real behind and lost. And don't give up, you know. Don't give up. One of the things about court reporting, you can do it. You got to tell yourself, I can do this. Mary did it. I can do this. And you can. But you always got to tell yourself, I want to do this and I want it really bad and this is what I want to do. And I know I want it. You've got to have that kind of mindset when you go to court reporting school. Okay? Because it's not just this. It's kind of like a mental thing. You've got to pep yourself up. And that's what I was telling you. You're going to have a great soulmate because you're going to fail. Your very first test, you're going to fail. But 2 months into class, you're going to go back and you're going to find out, oh my gosh, can you remember when we were at 30 words a minute? And you think, oh, look how far I came. And then when you're at 200 words a minute, oh my gosh, do you remember when we were at 100 words a minute and it seemed impossible? That's what I'm talking about, failure. So you've got to find a way to say, I can do it. I'll just practice a little more. I'll get there, and then you're going to do it. And that's how that girl got out in a year. Besides being homeschooled, because guess what happens when you're homeschooled? You're at home going to school. You know, her parents must have been, you know, they told her, you better go over there and do your studies. That's what you're going to do, because she was disciplined. That's how she did it. And I'm going to bring her to talk to y'all. So you can hear from her what she did, how she did it. And she is young. Okay, she's young. So I want y'all to hear from her because she went to this school. And she will tell you, yes, you can do it. But I want you to tell yourself, if you ever get to a point, say, man, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this. Yeah, you can get it. Just practice. So you're not doing something right, you know, change your method, okay? But always tell yourself, yes, you can. You can do it. Right, Jessica?
I highly recommend acting like theory is a new job. Don't not go to work. You know, that first 90 days, you definitely want to make it work, you know. Most jobs will be like, if you don't call in, or if you call in within the first 90 days, you know, sayonara, you know. Act like it's a brand new job. And, like, it depends on, you know, you're showing up every single time. I practice from anywhere from 6 to 10 hours, including class time, every day. 6 to 10 hours in theory class. And I went from 0 to like 120 in 2 semesters. Theory and then the following semester. So, I mean, it's totally possible to accelerate, but you have to invest that time. You have to act like it's a job.
Yeah, thank you.
During that time?
Huh?
Did you work during that time?
I did not.
I did. Okay, I worked, when I went to school, we couldn't move to the next speed. I was in a college and we couldn't move to the next speed. So I would get my speed, we had A, B's, and C's and they graded us. And once you hit your speed, then you were done. So I would hit my speed mid-semester. And then I just worked 40 hours. I was young. So I just go have more fun. Okay, so I did some things that I regret because I think I could have gotten out of school even earlier. So you can work and be a court reporter. I worked 36 hours. They did not consider that full time. I went to school from 8 in the morning to 12 at noon. I took lunch with my friends. We were at the college. I practiced on my machine from 1 to 3:30. I went to work from 4 to 11. That was my schedule. I worked 36 hours a week. I might work on the weekends, but that was my schedule. I went to school in the daytime and worked at night. It worked for me. Not everybody's like that. Some people might rather work during the day and go to school at night. The wonderful thing is now we have the internet. Now you have dictation. Now you have computers, so you don't have to do what I did. So you can actually work when you go to court reporting school. But I will tell you this. When you get to that high speed at 200 words a minute, and you're working and you're working and you're still working, what I would do, if you want to be a court reporter, because the hardest speed to go from is 200 to 225 words a minute. I zipped right through school until I hit 200 words a minute. And when I hit 200 words a minute, it was crazy. So what I did is I cut my work hours. I really had to practice. And I just sacrificed to practice. Because it was either, what's a semester? 3 months? For the rest of my life, okay? How bad did I want? I was gonna go part-time and work on that machine solid. This was my job, like she said, this was my job. Because I had gotten married and I was gonna have to pay for all that stuff and I needed a job, a real job, okay? So I had to get out of school. I had to. And that's what made me get out of school. So I just my job hours got shortened. It's what you call sacrifice. For those of you that have children, that very last semester, you're just gonna have to sacrifice. Your whole family's gonna sacrificing, but guess what? They will sacrifice for a short time, but they will reap the benefit of your sacrifice for the 3 months or so, or 4 months. They're gonna reap that benefit when you become a court reporter. So it will be well worth your time. So you can work, or if y'all students, gosh, if your parents are taking care of y'all, practice, okay?
And I mean, there are other extenuating circumstances.
Yes.
There are like health conditions, which was an issue for me, but you could still make it through school. I did things outside of actually practicing to build speed.
Mm-hmm.
There are a bunch of ways to do that. So, I mean, you don't have to be at the machine to practice, and if you ever need tips on how to practice without being at the machine, if you were working or other such things, or just not able to sit up, I have practice tips for that.
Oh, good.
So
You could share those
yeah.
with them.
So you can think about how you write, visualizing. That's a huge key thing. A lot of reporters that I talked to that zipped through school did that. They visualized practicing. And that's it, as in, you think of your fingers moving in your head. You visualize it, you mentally picture where your fingers would move and from which key to which key. That helped my movements actually become more fluid as well, because I wasn't having to stop at home position every time. I was starting to just move from one stroke to the next, like, you know, swimming is, you know, a different activity. So.
Oh, that's great, Jessica. And like the flashcards, remember I told you do flashcards? I was a cash register. I worked at a grocery store, and so in between customers, you know, unless it was Thanksgiving or something, the line was long all day. But I would stand next to the cash register and scan groceries, and I'd have my flashcards right there next to the register. So in between customers, well, I just flipped my flashcards. So I was able to mentally visualize what I was doing while I was at work, being a cash register at a grocery store, a cashier. cash register.
Or your notes. You can print your notes out and read your notes back. Like I strongly emphasize reading your notes because that's the only way you'll be able to know your own writing, to see your mistakes, to see your strong points, and be able to work on what you're not really that good at. Everyone
That's right.
has weak points, so if you're able to diagnose them and analyze them, that's the best way to get better.
Thank you, Jessica. That's exactly right. Like I said, we can never stress that enough. Okay. If you're ever struggling, read your notes. Okay. But just read your notes. Period. You are going to gain speed by reading your notes. Okay. So we are on lesson 4, Geneva. Okay, we're on lesson 4. We're going to start the D's with your left hand. D. Okay, this is another combination. Okay, you know how we learned the B just a few minutes ago? We learned the B. Okay, that is your ring finger. Now it looks really strange, and it's a T and a K together, but you write them together, and from now on, that's going to be a D. Okay, from now on, just like the B, now it's a D. Just like the B on the right hand, we had it on the right hand. Now we have a D. But it's way over there. Okay, it's not your normal home position, so you have to use your pinky and stretch it over there. Use your pinky, stretch it to the D. Don't have the D and the Z, okay? Just the D. Okay, so you have to target that D way up there and hit it with your pinky. Okay, so words start with the sound of D and words end with D. D is another very important letter because you're going to learn in theory that the D is going to be like past tense. It's going to like words like, let's see, give me a word that has a past tense of D, Geneva.
Hurried.
Hurry, okay? Hurry, you put a D on it and it becomes hurried, okay? So your verbs, that little D is very important. Okay, so it's going to be the past tense of verbs, but that's just one example. It'll be a lot of things. Okay, so remember that when you learn a new letter, look at your keyboard. You have to visualize from now on that TK is a D. Okay, so look at the keyboard. It's the only way your mind is going to visualize it, like Jessica just said. You have to visualize it. You have to be able to see it as a D. Okay. So when you practice, look at the keyboard chart only when you have to. Keep practicing until you no longer have to look at that keyboard. Do not look at your hands or your notes. Okay? Look at the keyboard. Here we go. Now, you see the little dash up there? Let me move it up. You're going to see the little dash after the D, or the little hyphen. Uh-oh. That means it's going to be your left hand, okay? So, we're going to learn the left hand D, okay? And you write it together, okay? At the same time. Okay, here we go. D, 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 home position. 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 D, quick. D, D, home position. How'd y'all do? Got it? Pretty okay? Okay, now we're going to do the B and the D, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our middle finger here and we're going to go like this, okay? You should hit both of the keys at the same time. Put your finger in the crack. Both keys should come out, okay? Remember, when you're doing home position, that puts you right in the middle of the keyboard. So you're going to go B, D, B, D. That's what we're fixing to do. Okay, you can go back and forth. Look at your keyboard if you need to, okay? Because if you don't have it in your mind, look at that keyboard. Here we go. Ready? This is all in the left hand only right now. Ready? B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. How'd y'all do? Okay. Make sure your fingers are curled. You know, write with the fat part of your finger. Don't write with your fingernails. And don't flatten them out like this. Okay. Have them curled. Okay. Kind of like, just like that. Okay. And this is how I write in the courtroom. I write just like this. I just move my fingers. That's how I write. Okay. Because you're going to write very fast. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do the index finger, the asterisk, okay? Here we go. Asterisk with your right index finger. Ready. Asterisk, 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 home position. 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 Asterisk. Asterisk, home position. Asterisk. Asterisk, home position. Asterisk. Asterisk, home position. Asterisk. Asterisk, home position. B on your left hand. B, asterisk. B, asterisk, home position. 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 D, that's a fourth finger. D, asterisk. D, asterisk, home position. 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 Okay, how'd y'all do? Doing good? Great. Okay.
At some point, it will just be the movement. That letter will be that finger on the crack rather than, you know, thinking P and W equals B. At some point, it'll be like so fluid, it'll just be this finger on this area is B.
And home position, you will get the letters every single time eventually.
Yes, that's right. Eventually. That's true. Eventually you will. Yeah.
The problem is that your fingers do this,
Mhm.
but they need to do this.
Yes.
Right. How they need to go like
So
this.
it's just learning to curl them up.
Mm-hmm.
Like holding a bubble.
Yeah. So they're not flat. Remember, your fingers are curled. Okay, they're curled because you're going to hit that crack there for home position. They have to be curled. Okay, you're going to hit that crack.
It makes it easier to move them up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then you can move all over.
more finger movement than wrist or arm movement, which will increase your speed and also decrease your chance for carpal tunnel.
Exactly.
So there's perks.
There is reasons. Okay. So now we're going to learn the D. Just like the D, we have the D on the left-hand side of our keyboard. Okay. So we're gonna do the ending D. It's right above that Z. Okay. You hit it with your pinky. Here we go. D, D, D. Home position. D. Stretch over there. D, D. Home position. D, 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 home position. Okay, now we're going to do right hand only, B and D. Okay, B and D. B is going to be your middle finger. Okay, here we go. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. Be quick when you write. B, D, B, home position. D, B, D, home position. B, D, B, home position. Okay? When you write quickly. Just hit it and take your finger off of it. Make sure you hit the right key, okay, but write quickly. Take it off and just hit it, okay? Because that's going to come in very handy the quicker your fingers are and the quicker that you get used to that snap, okay? Now, some of the hardest things to do when we're learning the alphabet, I learned from our last class, was words, okay? Okay, when we do words. So I'm going to try to take it a little bit slower. So these words, these are the kind of things that you want to put on those flashcards. That second column, this is what you want to put on your flashcards. This is what you want to read first. And on the other side of your flashcard, one word per flashcard, by the way, one word per flashcard, one steno stroke. So you're going to put this AD on one side, and you're going to flip it over, and it's going to have the English. Just like this, babe. So you're going to look at BAIB. What is that? Okay? You should do this with all of your letters. Okay, what is that? Okay? If you can read this quickly and not hesitate at all. Okay? And like Jessica was saying, visualize your fingers go in there. Okay? When you don't have your machine in front of you, visualize your fingers. Oh, that's this, that's that. Okay? That's where you want to be as a court reporter. That's how you want to learn. That's how you want to memorize things. Read that steno first. Put them on flashcards. Okay. So here we're going to go. We're going to do some words, and they're going to throw in the long A's. I'm going to say a, okay? And I'm going to split it up, and I'm going to say add, okay? So that, because I remember from the last class, that was the hardest thing for them were the words. So I'm going to take them apart and say the letters first, and then we're putting them together, okay? So here we go. Ready? Add, home position. Add, home position. Add. When I say add, write the word together. Home position. Okay? Add, home position.
With words, you will want to hit them all at the same time.
Yes.
No matter what the outline is, you hit it all at the same time. So you can visualize if you want, or just hover your fingers over first and then hit at the same time. Don't press one and then the other. You'll start getting into the habit of that, and then that starts creating issues with stacking, as we call it, which is where you don't quite pick up all your fingers at the same time, and then you combine strokes, so you can't even read what you wrote. So try to just hit it all at once, both letters, all 3 letters, all 4 letters, whatever the case may be. Each outline you want to stroke at the same time.
Great,
so kind of
Jessica,
plot it first and then go.
Yeah, she's exactly right. You don't want the letters to come out by themselves because it's not going to be the word. You know, you're going to have other things that you're writing. Okay, so that's really important when you see that, a word, write all of them at the same time. Okay, all right, any questions? Is anybody hurting? If you are, it's your position. Okay? Your back should not hurt, your wrist should not hurt. If they do, you're either too high or your arms are too far out. Put them in, pull your elbows in if your arms are hurting. If your wrists are hurting, okay, drop your machine a little bit lower if your wrists are hurting. Okay? Okay, let's go to the next slide. We're almost done. Okay, we're just about done with our lessons. So we're almost done with this lesson. This is wonderful. Okay, well, let's do the word babe. Okay, here we go. B-A-B, babe. Babe, all at the same time. B-A-B,
What B?
babe. Okay, your initial sound will always be your left hand. Okay, your initial sound, your consonants always, the initial sounds, just like any word, will start with the left hands because babe starts with the initial B and the sound ends with B. So you start with the left hand. There you go. Yeah, right, like this.
So all 3 letters with the left hand?
A-I-B.
Yes. Okay, that's how it's written. Okay.
B?
B-A-I-B. And so if we go to the keyboard, it's all at the same time. Okay, let me get my keyboard back here. Maybe it's my next lesson. Okay, there's my keyboard. Okay, so I might have to raise it a little bit higher for you. Okay, oh. Okay, what I'm talking about, okay, is you're going to write B-A-I-B. B-A-I-B. That's what I'm saying. Okay, when I dictate it and I say B-A-I-B, that's what I want you to do. I want you to go like this. B-A-I-B, babe. Babe. Okay? So when I dictate the letters to you like that, I want you to do just that. B-A-I-B, babe.
So don't lose your position.
Yes.
You're going to want to use your middle finger for the B on the crack. Then your left thumb on the left key for the A. Your right thumb on both keys for the I. And then your middle finger on the bottom key for B. So
Thanks
keep
for pointing
form.
that out. Yeah, because I wasn't clear. Okay, so that's what I mean. So thanks for pointing that out. Okay, B-A-I-B, babe. Okay? See, I wasn't clear on that. Okay, so now let's do babe. Let's do bad, B-A-D. Okay? So you're going to put your B-A-D, B, and hit bad, bad. Okay? So you're hitting the position of where the word's going to be, in other words, like Jessica just said. Okay? You're getting in position. So here we go. B-A-D, then hit it together. Bad. Bad. In other words, you're finding the letters. B-A-D, bad. Bad. Home position. B-A-D, bad. Bad. B-A-D, bad. Bad. Let's do bay. B, long A. Bay. Bay. B, long A. Bay. Hit it together. Bay. B, long A. Bay. Bay. Now let's do the dab. D, A, B, dab. Dab. D, A, B, dab. Dab. Let's do dad. D, A, D, dad. Dad, home position. Forgot that. D, A, D, dad. Dad, home position. D, A, D, dad. Dad. Let's do day. D, long A, day. Day, home position. D, long A, day. Day, home position. D, long A, day. Day. Okay. A homonym is one or two more words pronounced alike but spelled differently. Examples, add or 222. This is why we were telling you about the asterisk. Or even Rob, the name Rob and the little Rob. You have to be able to spell everything, even though they sound the same, differently. That's where the asterisk comes in.
Homophone.
Yeah, oh, homophone. A homophone, okay? So, you will not learn to write homophones in this class. I just mentioned it because it's in the book. Okay, all right, are there any questions whatsoever? Y'all learned a great deal tonight. I mean, for those of you who this is your first class, that's a lot of stuff to go over in one day, okay? It is, especially when you took all the machine time. What's most important is when you take your machines apart, it is just as important that you remember to unplug them, okay? It was my understanding they showed you, remember, to release the machine, always hold the machine with your arm, always, okay? There's a lever on the machine, on the side of some of them, on the bottom of some of them. That lever, all you have to do is press the lever and at the same time turn the machine and it will unclick. If anybody needs help with that, okay? We need to,
How do you turn the machines off?